I just went to the restroom during the flight, and unexpectedly, this actually saved my life. Because just as I finished using the restroom and was about to return to my seat, the plane suddenly encountered severe turbulence. Then I kept shaking in the restroom, and I was so scared that I immediately screamed for help. But there was no response at all. When I opened my eyes again, everything around me had fallen into deathly silence. I wanted to open the restroom door to see what had happened, but found that the door wouldn't open, no matter what. With no other choice, I had to kick the door open. But the moment the door opened, I was completely stunned. The plane had actually crashed on a snow-covered mountain. Only at this moment did I realize that I had survived a plane crash. Looking at the bodies scattered all over the ground, my first reaction was to search for any other survivors, but I found that there was nothing in the cabin except bodies. Just as I was sinking into deep despair, a man's voice suddenly came from not far away. I quickly ran over following the sound to check, and found a survivor trapped under the plane wreckage, so I kindly rescued him. Seeing that the blizzard was still intensifying, we didn't want to be frozen to death by the severe cold, so we quickly returned to the cabin to look for supplies that could keep us warm. To save our lives, I hurriedly led him into that small restroom, because this was the only place that could shelter us from the blizzard. Then we covered ourselves with blankets and huddled closely together. But even so, we still felt extremely cold. I couldn't care about anything else and quickly placed the man's hands on my chest, because in this situation, there was no distinction between men and women anymore. To survive, we had to do this. Just like that, we endured the night by keeping each other warm. But now we faced another serious problem: how to survive in this frozen wasteland. Early the next morning, after pulling myself together, I pried open the restroom door and walked out, only to find that not only was the crashed plane buried in snow, but the entire mountain was completely white, making it very difficult for rescue teams to spot us. Looking at the frozen bodies everywhere, I instantly fell into despair. I thought about finding a place to wait for death. But at this moment, the man suddenly came over and told me to think about my family, to think about my parents. Although I pulled myself together again after hearing this, he could convince others but not himself. After I left, the man broke down and vented his inner emotions through roaring. Seeing that a new round of blizzard was about to hit, we hid in the restroom again to avoid the cold. But staying here all the time was not a long-term solution. To survive, the man asked me to leave this place with him, because if there were residents at the foot of the mountain, we could be rescued. But I thought this was undoubtedly seeking our own death. If we went out, we would either freeze to death or starve to death. Seeing that I insisted on staying to wait for rescue, the man had no choice but to abandon me and turn around to leave alone. At first I didn't want to go, but watching the man's figure gradually disappear in the distance, the fear of loneliness instantly surged into my heart, and I still followed him in fear. Just like that, we embarked on a thrilling survival journey. However, after we climbed over mountain after mountain, we still hadn't seen a single person. At this point, I began to blame the man, but what could he do at this point? Just as I was unwillingly following the man to continue forward, the man seemed to see something terrifying.